Welcome to my show. Welcome to the One Rainbow Tribe. I'm going to drop a spiritual message here for all those who wish to absorb some information. The rainbow prophecy has been fulfilled, and all black magic symbols have been deactivated and destroyed. The darkness has no more power spiritually. And what the things that have been taking place over these years, I'm going to get right to the point and try and break down exactly what has taken place. We go back to the end of the Mayan calendar, and a lot of people, they don't know what dimension they're in. They're not sure of where they are because of the fallout of time. The Mayan time and the fallout of the tree is the same timeline. And so there's been a lot of stuff over the years, over eons, where, people, there's so much ancient history and people don't know of time. Some things could have been a couple of thousand years ago, and some things could have been, a million years ago. And the records have been manipulated to understand space and time. When it comes to the sacred water, because the sacred water has returned, everything has come back into alignment of taking back and fixing the four winds, four corners, four directions, taking back the alchemy and so forth. So in 2012, we hit a wall and we started going backwards in time and going through all of these timelines. We had to pick up the feminine energy, the feminine pieces that were destroyed and manipulated. They're all timelines, of ancient history, we will put it. But what people can't understand is that all these timelines are one. Because if you look at the symbolism, you have to understand the symbols. And if you're in the center of Buddha's Eightfold Path, you'll be able to, if you have returned back to Buddha's Eightfold Path, you would be able to comprehend that you have traveled through all of these timelines and come back into the center point. Because we fell out of the tree, born out of time, born in fire. We were born without any sacred water. And so we lost the coordinates. We lost the inner directions of a spiritual journey back over the Rainbow Bridge, back the Yellow Brick Road. Everything you know of symbolism all has come forth in a way of what you think you know of ancient history and certain things taking place, as a fairy tale had to repeat itself in certain ways, because what happened as we started going back in time, we ended up in certain timelines, we will say, and you had positive energy and you had evil energy. The evil energy needed to be blocked from repeating itself. And then you block the frequency. We block the evil frequency from getting back into the Lion's Gate. the mouth of the lion, the Ouroboros, and what was within was removed through battles and wars over these past years, because we were on every timeline that was within the Mayan calendar, because you have to look at the sun cross and the eight-pointed star. Every tribe had it. So when you talk about unity and community, there's no separation when everybody understands the rainbow prophecy. And into today's timeline, the people know and understand for the most part about the prophecy. But it comes down to the teachings of the rainbow. And the teachings of the rainbow is, where people need to understand what timeline they are on today, where they are within the dimensional shifts, and that we are climbing back up Jacob's ladder. We are going back over the rainbow bridge, but there's specific frequencies and energies one must go through and understand, because like Egypt, for example, Egypt isn't in the past. It's still here today, because Egypt was a magical place. It had things, but there is ancient history, ancient Egypt, and modern Egypt. And within the frequencies, one must travel with and understand Osiris and Isis, Anubis. They must understand Shamash, Ishtar, Vishnu, Odin, Hermes, Mercury, Quetzalcoatl. They must understand the what was stolen spiritually, and all of these fairy tales and the Nordic timeline of what happened. But all this sacrifice from ancient history and into today's timeline, nothing has ever been purged. The blood sacrifice has never been purged from the people. And so within the frequencies, people still are attached to the sacrificed energy. It doesn't matter where you come from, because it's darkness within. And so moving back into time, back through time, regaining all the symbols, taking back all the symbols, fixing the blueprints to the temple, and being able to bring forth the rainbow prophecy for the people, for the children, for the feminine, for the elders, the new elders of New Earth. Everything has been separated from Mother Earth. They still try spiritually. They're still within the people, but they have no things that have to take place for humanity to understand the separation from the ones who invaded and have sacrificed the people over many eons, because it's been within the spirit, it's been within creation, within the sacred water. And so the understanding is very hard, because people will say that they're not mind controlled, they're not brainwashed, but they're also not connected to Creator. They're not connected to Great Spirit, Mother Earth and Father Sky, because you were born into a reality where Mother Earth and Father Sky weren't connected. Great Spirit wasn't here. The evil came in and destroyed Mother Earth. But we have transitioned, and we've gone back through timelines and come back into this now moment, as everyone speaks on, and everything is here. Everything that you need to understand about ascension, about Mother Earth and Father Sky, about Great Spirit, about the Rainbow Prophecy, about the Blue Diamond, about the Diamond Prophecy of the Divine Mother, on how a rainbow was created, because you can't move through ascension without understanding how a rainbow was created. You have to understand how to get back into your inner temple, because people piggyback on a dead Buddha and they think that they're ascending, and they're really not, because they need to go through the initiation of getting back into the Lion's Gate. People can talk on it. They talk on it every year. They talk on the 1111 portal, but they don't know what it really reflects, because people don't know numerology. People don't know the sacred numbers. They don't know alchemy. They don't know what it really is when Mercury turns to gold. They don't know what's in the invisible realms, on how everything from the invisible realm has manifested into today. First, Mother Earth being beautiful, but then the hijacking of the water, the hijacking of what was in the temple, what was within God's house. There's a lot of timelines, and so people as a whole, really, there may be some people out there who understand what timeline we are on today, but the majority of the people have to listen to somebody else. They have to listen to a channel, a spiritual message, to find out where they are today. There's a lot of people talking on galactic stuff, which is not the truth. The talking on galactic stuff today is kind of like talking on religion, because it's the same thing. You're doing something without any spiritual teachings, and the people need spiritual teachings. The people need to return back to becoming an elder, because this is the timeline of the people remembering the Rainbow Prophecy of how it is built, because it is all within. As you reflect it within and without, you look at the sun rising in the east, out of the water, the gold sun, gold and blue, red, orange, gold sun coming out of the water, which is reflecting your lower chakras. And then into the west, how the sun sets, everything is in front of you. The symbolism of transformation is all within Mother Earth, as it reflects within you. But people can't pick up on the energy, because the planets were hijacked. The gods were hijacked. The universal mind was hijacked. The teachings of Hermes were manipulated. Hermes' mind was manipulated. Whoever you think of on whatever timeline, as in having the teachings, being the one on the threshold, everything was manipulated. But there's portholes and there's timelines and all of this stuff. I've traveled through many portholes, through many timelines, through many dimensions, going backwards into time, and coming, because you go back into time, going through these timelines and coming back forward, back into the tree of life, back into a place where a place that is invisible, because you have to be able to direct your mind to a frequency. You have to understand what is within the invisible realms. People are scared of the invisible because of their mind and their frequency and everything that has come within this reality, but the understanding of transformation, of releasing the trauma, releasing the darkness, releasing the demons, and trusting and having faith and knowing that God is there, Creator's there, Mother Earth has Mother Earth and Father Sky have returned the marriage, the lower waters and the higher waters coming back together, the ancestors being freed, flipping of the poles, realigning Mother Earth, and within the symbolism, people know of, this is the teachings of the Rainbow Prophecy. And within the teachings of the Rainbow Prophecy, you have your symbols, you have your numerology, you have your vibration, you have your sacred geometry, you have your four corners, four winds, four directions, you have all the information, but people being locked out because they're not in the awakened mind of Buddha, of understanding how to create a Merkaba, how to draw a Merkaba, how to understand the rainbow in the awakened mind. Because if they're in the, people act like they're in the center with Buddha, but they don't have the key codes, the divine codes to get through the Sphinx, because there's a riddle to the Sphinx. There's a divine code, and all of this stuff is within the knowledge of understanding, because the blueprints of creation come from the invisible realm. They come through the mind. They come through a new creation of oneness, new creation of unity and community, of everybody coming back to one and thinking and wanting to know about the rainbow, about how to access the unicorns, how to access the dragons, how to access the realms that were taken from you, how to access the sacred animals, because the animals were manipulated, the animals were taken away, sacrificed. And so it's, the planets go round and round and round. There's alignments, there's frequencies. A lot of people being taken away and not understanding astrology, not understanding how crystals are made, how rainbows are made, how Mother Earth is made, because her creation was manipulated. Divine Mother's creation was manipulated. The Pleiadians were manipulated. Orion, Osiris. The worshipping of the fallen man took place. This is what happened. It's the lower frequency. It's a hijacking. And, that's a whole other story of looking into this reality and seeing the things that are happening and the things that are taking place in ways of them, the fallen ones, being kicked out of heaven, and them not having the tools, them not having the spiritual tools to override heaven, the demonic black magic tools. Everything has been reversed. The power, the frequency, the rainbow. The rainbow is the sign for the children. The rainbow, the oneness. It's not like not like people don't know about it. It's not like people don't know about the prophecy. It's just the people locked out of understanding what the teachings are. That's the problem, because people can say things that they have learned. That's the part of, if you haven't learned anything, you have nothing to speak on. So people learn a little bit of stuff, you know. They've heard of Merkaba, they've heard of alchemy, they've heard of the Rainbow Prophecy, they've heard of Babylon burning, they've heard of the end times, they've heard of a lot of different things. But if you are not within the time, then you're not going to understand. If you're not having the visions within and trying to understand and comprehend them, you know, and when you wake up during the day in this nightmare and don't try and figure out what your visions and dreams mean, you will remain in the matrix, because this is the awakened mind of Buddha. One must be able to speak. One has to speak on the rainbow. One must be able to speak on the prophecy. Because if you can't speak on the prophecy, you don't have any knowledge or wisdom or any codes of it. You can say the rainbow prophecy, you can say this, you can say that, but it doesn't matter. If you're not able to tune one's frequency up to the rainbow or the yellow brick road of Osiris, and have the codes of initiation to allow one to come through, because one's not able to come through a porthole within this realm the way that they are. The frequencies of humanity, this is the split. Some people have been able to lift themselves up through past life initiation, soul experience, and so forth, of understanding within the mind and what is going on within spirit today. But the majority don't know, because if the rainbow prophecy was just completed, nobody out there would know about it. That's the thing about being one on the threshold. People don't know, because it takes a rebuilding of a temple. It takes a rebuilding of a house. It takes a foundation. It takes a lot to understand what it is within on how to build a house for Mother Earth and Father Sky, for Great Spirit, for you, for your children, to be able to explain to your children what creation is, what the animals are, what Great Spirit is. Everything is falling, everything is collapsing, everything is coming apart, because they have been locked out. They are beyond the threshold in the past timelines, because they can't move forward into time, because moving forward into time is coming back into the Mayan calendar. It's coming back into the 0 point, Buddha's eightfolded path, because people talk, but they don't have the codes. They don't understand the symbolism of Great Spirit, of Buddha, of Jesus, of Christ, of anything, of ancient history. People today just think that they're whatever. So when you get into the symbolism of the 144, you get into the symbolism of the 8, or what was the 144? Because 144 is 108. When you take the 44 and 4 plus 4 is 8, that is 18. Let me see, 4, 8, 16, 4, 8. So it is 108. 108 mala beads is 144. If you are to grab the location of the mala, see, the people don't know what anything is spiritually. They just do stuff spiritually and think that they know stuff, but they don't. I've been studying the occult. I've been studying stuff that goes back hundreds of years on what people thought. People writing books about Moses, about Jesus, about Quetzalcoatl, about the Native Americans, about the Mayans, about everything around the world. 100-year-old, 200, 300-year-old books. These people are smarter than you. You're dumb. You're spiritually dumb. Because you piggyback on a hijacked Buddha, piggybacking on things that have been put on pedestals, and books that have been put on pedestals and regurgitated over and over and over again. There's no knowledge. There's no wisdom, because the true wisdom is in the water. It's in the invisible realms. But you're in the darkness. You're in the darkness. And one must understand on how to separate from this realm, to transmute themselves out of just fire, out of the fire, and reignite their water. Come back into the sacred water. Because people talk on it doesn't mean that people are in it. Because you must understand that Hermes, Mercury, is the mind. Mercury is the voice. Mercury is the messenger of God. And if you don't have the message to pass to the people, you don't have the truth. You don't have the information that the people need when it comes to becoming enlightened, when it comes to finding source, when it comes to finding home, or whatever people want to say. Because the people trying to be galactic but don't understand that their mother is under their feet. Mother Earth, Gaia, Gaia Sophia, Pista Sophia, the portholes, the understanding, the sacred water, the temples, the rainbow, the sun, the crystals, the diamonds, unicorns, dragons, whales, dolphins. So where are you, people talk on home. Where's home? So if home is up there in a way, then where are you? Are you lost? Not sure where you are? Are you doing the same thing over and over again? Trying to find a way out, but you can't because your consciousness won't allow you. Consciousness is doing the same thing. It's about, people don't know history. People can't see through these, through the information of what is true and what's fake, because they've been lied to their whole lives. This reality is a lie. The music has been hijacked, the government, the religion, and it's not like people don't know about it. It's that people are stuck in the matrix of misunderstanding their own spirit, misunderstanding that, to move forward through ascension, one must understand their DNA and the sacred patterns of their DNA if they want to come through the riddle of the Sphinx, because that is where you transform and you create your rainbow. You have your regular rainbow, but then you also have the high-def rainbow. People talk on the violet flame, they talk on pink Kachina, talk on turquoise colors, and colors that are not seen in the naked eye because you're not allowed to see them. Your vibration is too low. All you see is darkness, and your third eye is closed off because your mind can't accept this realm, so it's ignored. Your consciousness can't accept this realm on how dark it is and the darkness that is seen out there. It just does the same thing over and over, even though one is speaking on the matrix and one is speaking and will say Babylon is burning. It's the same thing as going to church with religion. There's no teachings. There's nothing to, nobody grabs hold of under of wanting to understand the truth. It is going within, because what is outside of you is within you. What is above you is below you. People talk about it. People don't understand. Because it's a frequency thing, and one must understand the frequencies before entering into a realm, before entering back into heaven on earth. Because it must resonate with them in their soul, in their belly, in their chakras, in their nadis, in their nagas, in everything that they think they know. Because it's there. The unicorns, dragons, fairies. But that's in a different dimension. And that's in the Nordic timeline. So, if you're stuck in America, being New Age, spiritual, how are you going to get through the portal from hell back into the realm of the unicorns? So, it takes an initiation. So if anybody is interested, see, this is the teachings of the rainbow. This is home of the teachings of the rainbow prophecy, in the location of the blue diamond, white diamond, and everything under the sun. This is location of the divine codes, the 144, 108, 213, 1 through 0, whatever, home. You want home? You want to go home? You're going to have to come through me and understand what the truth is. Have a good day.